Ismail Abdul-Salam with BeatsBoxingMayhem.com here with Melody Popravak, who's making her pro debut tomorrow in Atlanta Underground Showdown. Got her weigh-ins done. She's ready to fight. So first impressions, how did the weigh-in feel? You're about to be a pro tomorrow. How's your mindset?
I feel pretty calm for the fact that it's my first professional fight because I've been training for a year for this during COVID, so I'm just really excited I made it here finally, so I'm excited.
So your opponent was Nina Gallegos. This is your first time laying eyes on her. Was she smaller than what you thought she was going to be? A lot of people kind of gassed and, oh, she's so tiny, even though she's a stocky fighter. Did it surprise you?
Women carry weight. They all carry weight differently, so I have fought women her size that hit really hard. So you never want to underestimate anyone. You just never know.
And that can also be a challenge, finding somebody that small that you're punching down towards. How have you worked with, sparring and being able to kind of get around that, being able to still be effective with somebody that small that can get up on you?
Well, I in amateur, you weren't allowed to keep your jab straight out, and in pro, you're allowed to just leave it hanging and stick it out there more. So I plan to use that to my advantage. I'm excited to be able to do that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So I saw one of your older interviews, and you mentioned that when you were younger, you used to be very wild and all that. Now, that can mean a lot of different things. I kind of want to get some details. Were you just like wild out in the streets, you like to party, or were you even beating people up when you were younger?
They kind of go hand. I mean, partying, bar fights happen when you party. But yeah, mostly just being unhappy and partying and drinking and being out late and needing something to expound my anxiety, energy, whatever you want to call it, when you have to sit in an office all day. And I would go to the bar for that, which I should have maybe been boxing the whole time or something,
Gotcha.
but you find out later.
Right. Now, when you mention that, a lot of boxers, they're able to channel sometimes this rage that they can bring into the ring, and it makes them more effective fighters. Do you feel that you fight with that type of rage, or is it just overall just energy that you have, or do you really feel like, you really want to put a hurt on your opponents?
I have learned over time, like if something is bothering you or going wrong in your life, it's great to channel that into your sport and your competitiveness. That's exactly, you said it already.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're just starting out, but you've had people that have already paved the way. See what Clarissa Shields is doing, Chrissy Martin, other fighters. But you're also seeing some of those fighters transition into MMA already, even as champions.
Yeah.
Where do you see your path going? Do you see yourself strictly sticking with boxing, or are you open to other combat sports if need be?
For now, I'm sticking with boxing. I fell in love with boxing, and I'm so new to the sport. Just following my love of boxing, and I guess you never know, but I'm planning on just being a boxer.
So I got a free spirit vibe coming from you. So I wanted to find out, how does that apply to your career? Do you have like a set path, like, okay, I want to be a champion by this point in time, or a year or two, or you're just kind of taking it as it goes, one fight at a time?
I do have a time in mind for, I'd like to have a belt by, after, not so many fights, but just like in so many years. I do. I actually, even though maybe I look like a free spirit, I'm actually a type A planner,
Really?
and I'm
Okay.
pretty aggressive and like to make things happen.
Gotcha. What do you think overall about your division? One of the problems that people say is that, the bigger you are, the smaller the talent pool, particularly with women's boxing. Do you see that at your weight division, or do you think that there's a lot more potential where you're at and you won't have to worry about jumping up and down in weight?
I think I am gonna have to go down in weight, but we'll see. It's true there are less females. There are definitely more and more coming. Like you said, there are women paving the way, and it's inspiring others to box, and it is really changing. So is that change here in time for me right now? I don't know. That's to be seen.
So when people look up look you up on YouTube, they're going to see a lot of your amateur fights. Sometimes you were very aggressive. The way that you fight, you really, track them down in the ring.
Yeah.
Does that translate to what they can expect with your pro style tomorrow night?
Yeah, I don't like to let my opponents breathe or have time to catch themselves, because to me that's giving them an advantage, and I work hard, and I should be able to stay on them and keep the pressure on them. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I do like that style.
So do you think we're ready to go to 3-minute rounds? I just realized, there's still fights with women that are only 2-minute rounds. Do you feel like we're at a time now where we need to be at those 3-minute rounds for women fighters as well?
I've always said, why can't we have 3-minute? I mean, the 2-minute rounds feel ridiculous when usually we train in the gym for 3-minute rounds. But I was listening to a Michaela Mayer interview last night or the night before, and she had a good point. She said, "Are we getting paid to go 3-minute rounds? No, we're not." And I was like, you know what? She's right. So she had a good point.
I didn't think of it that way.
She
Gotcha.
might have changed my answer just now.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
All right, so my last question would be, where can people find you? After they see the fight tomorrow is going to be streaming, it's sold out. Where can they find you on social media to follow you?
At Melody Popravak. If you type in Hellfire Mel, that should work too. That's really it on Instagram.
Appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.